Hi, Dr. Leah here with another video blog for you. I recently borrowed an audiobook from my local library called What Are You Hungry For by Deepak Chopra. And while listening to it during my commute, I began reflecting on the choices we make regarding food. First of all, I highly recommend listening to audiobooks while you drive. It can make your drive time much more valuable and fun, especially helpful if you generally dislike being stuck in a car for any length of time like I do. I believe listening to an audiobook while you drive makes you a happier driver and also takes away that excuse, I don't have time to read the books I want to read. I liked Chopra's book, What Are You Hungry For? Because it was just riddled with truth nuggets that apply universally to all of us. The idea is that when we have trouble making good food choices or overeating, it is often because we're not actually hungry for those foods, but rather using them inappropriately to feed some other hunger. Examples of these other hungers you may have are being hungry for action and stimulation because you're bored. You might be hungry for comfort, the kind of comfort that comes from strong relationships with other people, but not food. Perhaps you feel empty inside because you're lonely and you need to reach out to other people. Or perhaps it's the opposite. Maybe you're hungry for alone time and you're stressed out by other people. Maybe you've never learned to love yourself, or you were never taught that it's okay to nourish yourself and make yourself a priority. Too often, we try to fill voids like these with calories rather than the emotional nourishment we truly need. When you really get down to the core of why we eat what we eat, it can be super complicated, but mindfulness and careful consideration can simplify that process. We can be more conscious and mindful about how we live, not just blindly going through the motions, but actually pausing to think about why we do what we do, and how each and every choice and action either brings us toward a place of greater fulfillment or away from it. And we can ask ourselves questions like, does the food I'm about to choose today contribute to the body I want to live in tomorrow? You can also benefit from pausing before you choose when and what to eat and ask your body the question, what are we craving that would provide us with more physical energy and clarity of mind? This is different than choosing foods to try and block out an unfulfilled emotional need, which is when we usually reach for sugar, caffeine, or alcohol. Rather than subconsciously asking which foods will help you stop feeling uncomfortable, bored, or lonely, you're asking your body to show you what foods will help you experience the vitality and clarity of mind you actually want to feel. For me, as I've practiced the self-questioning process, I've discovered I actually crave specific macronutrients at different times, such as protein, carbs, or fats. I found that if I haven't had the right balance earlier in the day, my body will tell me. I also crave certain color fruits or vegetables, like more greens or reds or purples, and sometimes crave sour or bitter foods. It's pretty cool to be craving salmon or raspberries, and to know these cravings are trying to deliver the clarity of mind and energy I truly desire. It's a partnership with my body that helps me get where I really want to go. Another basic tip is to eat when you're actually hungry and only to 80 or 90% full. This means eating to the point of feeling satisfied but not stuffed. We have to pause to actually give the brain time to register that the stomach is full, which can take up to 20 minutes. I feel more productive when I'm just slightly hungry, but when my blood sugar starts to drop and I have a harder time thinking, I know it's time to eat. Some people don't really get these hunger cues, or they've forgotten what it feels like to be hungry because fast food is so easily available to us. They may be eating all day long. Dr. Chopra speaks a lot in the book about eating fresh, local, and in-season whole foods, which is as close as possible to how they come from nature, and including different flavor categories appropriately like sweet, salty, bitter, and pungent. I thought a lot of the book was common sense, but presented in a way that shed some new light on what it really means to have a mindful approach to health. The book's marketed for people who need to lose weight, but I think all people could benefit from reading or listening to it because just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy and making healthy choices. I'll leave you with a quote from the book. Life is about fulfillment, and if your life isn't fulfilled, your stomach can never supply what's missing. Thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully this video will help you make nourishing food and lifestyle choices. Until next time, be well.